What's good, y'all? DJDURL here for another episode of Fatherhood Fraternity. We're in the new season. We have a new outlook, and just want to make sure that I give you all just a little bit more than what you're used to when it comes to Fatherhood Fraternity videos.
Against all odds, mama, I made it. You already know it's your favorite. I'm living my dreams, mama, I made it. You already know it's your favorite.
So in this season, as I alluded to in the last episode, I want to talk more. I want to be able to have subjects that I'm speaking on. And I want to be able to get my thoughts out so that maybe I can hear some more feedback from you all who are either fathers, new fathers, or just wanting to understand fathers. So today's subject, as you probably saw on the title, is spending time with your kids and the quality of the time that you spend. Quality time is something that I don't know if we really think about as much, but it's very important when building any relationship. Now, when it comes to our children, building a lasting relationship, I feel that quality time is a big thing, because not only with the quality time that you have with your kids, you can influence them into making sure they stay on the right path. I mean, you can just see yourself with your kids, or see yourself in your kids when you spend that quality time. Now, don't confuse quality time with the amount of time or the quantity of time that you have with them. You can have a quantity of time with your child and they're not paying attention to you. You're on the phone or you're watching TV and they're just off on their own. So those are just things that I want to discuss a little bit on this episode. It's not really anything planned other than the list of things that you can do with your kid that I'll talk about later. But I just wanted to talk, and hopefully you all will get a little bit something out of this, a little of consideration. So a little backstory for myself. When I first became a father, I really thought that the quantity of time would be able to be the most influential when it comes to my daughter, and just her knowing who I am by being around a whole bunch of time. And it became to be not as quality as it should be, because I didn't have time to rest. I didn't have time to really be myself. I didn't make time for myself to hang with my friends so that I could, live life and have the other happiness where it won't be just so attached to my daughter. So I think that once I found a way to get a little bit of a balance between quality and quantity, I think things have started to get a little bit better. So even speaking of the time that I have, the reason why I haven't had too many videos over the past summer is two main reasons. Spending quality time with my family is very important. It's more important than making the videos. So I had to make sure that the summertime I did a lot with them, and I can't always have my camera out because the camera is big, it's distracting. I have a 2-year-old and she wants to grab the camera at all times. And another reason is that because I'm busy. I've said it once before, I do a lot of stuff. I podcast, videos, DJing, event planning. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm a son. All those things need to have quality time with them. And for me to get better at anything or at everything, I have to spend time with it. So I had to sacrifice the videos a little bit. I hope you all understand, like the few of y'all that have been asking me about the videos. I'm back. I'm making sure that I'm just better. I just want to be better at what I'm doing. And I felt that the time away during the summer to spend time with the family, quality time, was very beneficial for me to be able to look forward to doing this again. Having a 2-year-old, quality time is, I think, very beneficial. If you just think about it, I work 8 hours a day. We drop our daughter off prior to me working 8 hours a day. So the babysitter or daycare or whatever that you have, they get them for the time that you're commuting to work, your time at work, and the time for you to get back to them. So that's a majority of their waking day is with them. You may have an hour with them prior to dropping them off, and if you get home at 6 or 5:30 and their bedtime is 8, you really only get 2.5 hours or so. So you just got to consider the amount of time that you have and making that time quality. And that's something that I just really had to think about. Like, what am I doing during the time that I have with my family? Am I concentrating on what I'm about to do? Am I sleepy because I'm trying to stay up doing extracurricular things when I should be going to sleep? Those are all things I had to consider, because if I don't have enough sleep, I'm going to be stressed out. The stress is in turn going to be making poor quality of work at my job. Then I'm going to be stressed out about my job. I'll be stressed out to my wife. I won't give her the correct attitude or love that she needs, and then that stress will come into the family and the household, and that goes towards your kids. What does that do for them? Is that quality time, or you're just around making them more stressed out? Especially during their formidable years, like, you have to have that quality time for them to know, like, hey, I'm here for you. I'm watching you learn. I'm learning right with you, and then they'll be encouraged to do more. I just think that is very important, and something that I probably didn't think about as much. So I've changed that. I've thought of different ways to spend quality time, and I feel that having a different mind has made things a lot better. And I do have a few things that you can have to enjoy yourself with your kids. I think that's something that I did since Ava's been back for like 2 or 3 weeks. I made sure that me and her took photos together. Like, I would either, well, not together, but I would have her sit like in front of our porch, take a picture of her, or on our way out to going somewhere, like, hey, you want to take a picture? And she ended up like really looking forward to it. The thing that made me think about it is that I want her to be a little bit photogenic. I want her to be comfortable in front of the camera when people take pictures of her. When I say cheese, she'll understand it. So that was just a way that in our morning routine, I spent an extra 10 minutes for me to sit down, take a picture of her, gas her up, tell her how cute she is. And that's just something that we spent our quality time doing. She looked forward to it. She would see the camera. She would look on the back end of the camera to see herself. I'm like, ooh, Ava's pretty. All of that stuff, I'm sure, is quality to her. Another thing that you can do with your kid that would just be dope is exercise. I mean, health is a way that you can be with them a lot longer, and for them to be within good health, I think exercising with them would be good. I think there's been a viral video of a little boy with his watching his father do a lot of footwork, and it was just dope to see that, because you're setting that example, and then that will allow them to be better people. And then, like my man Rich does, he's athletic, and he has athletic kids. That, I'm sure, helps them along the way when they see him doing stuff and they can exercise with him. You can be at any age and have your kid exercise with you. One thing that me and Ava have been doing recently, when I cook, I have her cook with me. Of course, she's not touching the stove. I usually have her in my arms. I tell her what I'm doing. Like, Daddy's cooking. You have to cook the food for you to be able to eat it. See, I'm pouring the ingredients in here. I'm mixing this bowl, etc. And she seems to enjoy it. She wants me to pick her up now while I'm cooking so she can watch it. That's easy. That's simple. It takes about 20 minutes of your time. It may tack on the extra 5 minutes, but it's quality because you're talking more, you're showing patience, you're instructing them. You never know what seeds you may plant for allowing them to watch you cook. I think one thing that would be dope that you could do, and I encourage my wife to do, is to join a class with your child. Rather it's swimming, because swimming is part of survival. I think every kid, every adult should know how to swim. Do a swimming class or a dance class or even a cooking class to go along with the last part. I think that would be something that you can do that could be once or twice a week. Give them something to look forward to, and you'll spend quality time. They will bond. They will remember these things. Like, you remember when we made this bowl in ceramic class, or you never know. This is something that I think you could spend a little bit of time with your kid, and it'll be a lot of quality. And for the last tip that I would give is to spend time with your child. You can have a family game night where if you're in a 2-person household or 3-person household or more, if you're with your spouse and you live together, I think a family game night would be fun as competition. I think kids need to learn how to lose and how to win and strategy, because you want them to be able to know how to handle themselves. You don't want a kid that's a sore loser. So if you have these games, you have some competition, and teach them what it's like or what it feels like to take an L and then learn how to bounce back, I think that'll be very beneficial. So, in closing, I just want to have a couple facts. We spend, it is stated, about 104 minutes per day with our kids. There's a lot more minutes than that than what we get, but that kind of goes along with what I said earlier. We aren't spending as much time as we can, and just think about for those who have 2 jobs or people who aren't rich, that need 2 or 3 jobs just to make the ends meet. Please be able to get that quality time with your kids whenever you can, and take care of yourself. A stress-free life will make things a lot better. It'll be a lot more quality. Get your sleep, because without sleep, you're not going to be who you are. You're going to need a Snickers. But please take the time out. And to go along with what I'm speaking about, my friends and I are making a Fatherhood Fraternity podcast. And we've recorded an episode recently that kind of touched on this. We sit around in the barbershop, talk about fatherhood things. My man Jeremiah, he has an example of how quality time is much more important. I'm going to give you a clip of this.
My grandfather, when he retired from his job, I think he worked like 28 years at his job. When he finally retired, on his cake, they put congratulations, Henry Walls, never missed a day of work. He worked like 30 straight years.
That's crazy. Never
missed a day. Most of the time he was taking overtime. He would work like 12, 18-hour shit, like ridiculous, like 24-hour shifts, like didn't even sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So to him, he's proud of that.
Yeah.
That's
I worked hard.
That's
another
patch
stripe
on his
Yeah,
sleeve.
yeah, another
Man,
stripe.
I
on
never
his
missed
sleeve.
a day of work. I done went to work with broken bones. I done went to work with the flu.
Yeah.
I done went to work dead. You gotta hear him talk.
I was dead.
You gotta hear him talk. And so,
roll my casket,
man. Just prop me up.
Right.
You know,
I'm here.
But
Right.
that's his claim to fame. So
Yeah.
he's standing on that. I never missed a day of work. But if you ask my grandmother, it's the exact opposite. Where was you when I needed you?
Right.
Where was you on Thanksgiving when I had a house full of people
Yep.
and you eating and running? Where was you at your son's prom when he's nervous and you talking about, boy, you'll be all right, just make sure you dance like I told you, and then you run off to work. All the times that he was off to work, providing for his family nonetheless, his family was missing him. We weren't getting nurtured by my grandfather.
But please make sure you search for us on SoundCloud. Search Fatherhood Fraternity. You'll see the podcast. There'll be more ways for you to listen. But please make sure you follow us on IG, Fatherhood Fraternity and Fathers. If you're on Facebook, search for us. Join our group so we can all chat and talk things up. But until next time, see you guys later. Thank you for being back and watching the videos. And I will definitely be more consistent, have more quality videos. All right?